Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today in the info session on Neurodivergent Skill Building Program. My name is Sarah Tam, and I'll be your presenter for today's presentation. All right, so I just want to start with a disclaimer that this is an info session. Please use the resources mentioned with this session based on your discretion, and you can consult your healthcare provider or any legal community clinic to seek professional advice for your specific needs if you need to do so. So before we jump in to talk more about the Neurodivergent Skill Building Program, short for NDSB, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sarah Tam. I'm a corporate wellness educator, certified health and life coach, and a certified holistic nutritionist. My aim in my business and in this program is to help my clients be well, eat well, and live well. And my goal is to help people with lived experiences create a toolbox of effective and practical skill sets to better navigate life. I also believe in collaborative healthcare approach to truly help individuals get the support and accountability that they need. My style and my method and approach is ND affirmative. And I like to share my favorite quote that I truly live by and is a huge portion of this program is celebrating every win, no matter how small. So again, my email address is at the bottom. You are more than welcome to get in contact with me and we can absolutely chat more beyond this info session. So even without just sharing about myself, I also want to share some information about my teammates that are part of this program. So Irina Veronin is a co-facilitator of this program, and her aim is to support dialogue and collaborative care. Her goal is to help people with lived experiences as well, decrease the amount of time and energy they spend navigating the healthcare system so they can redirect their energy towards something, receiving the care they need. She also likes, her value is assessing care doesn't have to be oneness as it is. She truly believes that a meaningful partnership between healthcare providers and patients can make a positive difference. Her background is in health informatics, and she is one of the co-facilitators in this program for the back-end kind of things. And another team member is Kim Becker. She is also the co-facilitator. She has a diverse background working with various populations, including refugees and other newcomers to Canada, and also the neurodivergent population and people with disabilities and women in conflict with the law. Kim has experience in teaching and also, as well as having her master's in social work. She often delivers high quality services for newcomers in her day job. Her email address is there as well if you want to get in contact with her, same with Irina's. But the three of us are the members that are currently running this program, Neurodiversity Skill Building Program. So let's quickly start with my big why on why this program came about, why I got involved. Well, when I started my practice, I really want to follow my passion of helping individuals strive to become the best versions of themselves, mainly because I myself have struggled in many ways trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work for me. And, having to take things on my own and educate myself and find the right support, it was a lot. So here I am. I want to make the process more doable and more simple for individuals that do want the same things for themselves, such as the skill building program that we're about to dive into. My services are ND affirming and I have also gained a lot of lived experiences working with my clients who are neurodivergent. So when I first started my practice, it was not catered towards neurodivergent individuals. However, as I started my business and worked with more and more clients, I noticed that I attracted a certain, community of clients, and it turns out to be the neurodivergent community. Hence the birth of this program. A past client of mine, who and I worked together, Irina, which she approached me and said, "Hey, I got such great results with you. What if we turn this into a group program and helped even more people?" So that's we'll dive into that shortly. But essentially, this is how my services have come to be. My mission, again, is to help creating healthy habits the doable choice, and help you make the process of change and growth as simple as possible. Because I know these things are already difficult. So if we make it even more difficult with resistance and things that you don't want to do, it's going to be even harder. So we're going to talk more about that in a moment. But this is the reason why we're here, to help individuals become the best version of themselves in a doable way. So let's talk more about the Neurodivergent Skill Building Program, short for NDSB. So the program came to life through two things. One, the collaboration of individuals with lived experiences, and two, a practitioner, myself, who was able to implement and facilitate the content and delivery. The program premise is 90 days of gradual small changes to get you more in tune with your mind, body, and your skills so that you can be the most productive version of yourself. I just want to take a pause here for a moment to explain the word productive, right? It doesn't mean going all the time, right? A lot of us think that when we think productive, we have to be doing things. We have to be doing this, that, and all this stuff. Not exactly. When I'm talking about the most productive version of yourself, I mean you that can take care of everything else in your life, right? You can be productive in your work, in your house, in your relationship with your friends and family, your loved ones, the relationship with yourself. Sometimes productive could also mean doing unproductive things, but it's the idea of making space and time to do those things and wanting to do them. So that's a little bit of the clarity on what this program is about and helping you figure out what that productive version of you is. So the Neurodivergent Skill Building Program is based on a couple fundamentals. So first, it's based on the fundamental 4 E's: empathy, evidence-based, empirical driven, and executive functions. So for those that don't understand or know what executive function is, no worries. I'll shoot the link into the description where you can kind of read up on that. But first, starting with empathy, it's putting yourself in the person's shoes and really understanding where they're coming from. So giving them a safe space to be themselves, take off that mask, which happens a lot of times with neurodivergent individuals, and really get to dig deeper into what's stopping them and having a supporting group to help with that. 2, it's evidence-based. Everything we teach in this program is backed by science, backed by outcome, backed by results from people that joined the program and found success from it. So that's really exciting. 3, empirical driven, meaning that not only are we learning the knowledge about things, if you really want to learn knowledge, right, you can search things up and you get tons and tons of information, almost an overload of it. So in this program, we combine that learned, curated knowledge that I bring to you in each week's structured skill that we're learning, and also attach an action to it. In this program, we actually get to also apply those actions almost immediately in session when we meet weekly. So the idea is that we want to give you the knowledge and also the action attached to it so that we can really start putting them together. They're not separate entities. They want to become one. And lastly, executive functioning is something that a lot of individuals who are neurodivergent struggle with, and we absolutely focus on that pillar as well. A couple more points. The idea is to help you feel more confident and know exactly what you need in order to take action and get things done so that positive changes can happen naturally. So I'm emphasizing the word naturally here because a lot of times when we're trying to get things done, we feel resistance, and that resistance may be coming from your environment, from yourself. We're trying to make this process more simple and more doable by really understanding where that resistance is coming from so that the flow of things can happen more naturally. Because when things happen naturally, it doesn't feel forced. You don't feel resistance to it, and you just want to do it, and you want to do it. 3, the sessions are empowering, motivating, and enable you to help you reach your skill development and application goals. So it is a structured program, but there's still individualization in it by you creating your goals, what you want to achieve in this program, and we match those to the skills that we learn week in and week out. Lastly, the program is to invite you to become curious of how you can lead the lifestyle you want, and by creating better habits in a fun way for a long term, and knowing how to independently get back on track when needed. So that's what's important, is that it's inevitable. We're human. We're going to fall off track, but the important part is that we've built some habits and skills around how to get back on track. That's what we're really focusing on top of developing those skills, is how to get back on it when we fall off track. All right. So here's a little bit of a snippet from the previous program. So again, it was this is a virtual 12-week program. It started out as a pilot. specifically for adults neurodiversity. And now we are on to our third iteration, hence this info session for that. This is a fee-for-service program, and for some individuals who have benefits with their companies, it could be something covered. We'll talk more about that shortly. All right, so these next two slides are mainly the juice of the overview of this program, so feel free to pause, read it on your own, but I will go through it, all of it right now. But this is the bulk of the information specifically to what this program is about. So one, the service provider, my name again is Sarah, and I am a certified nutritional practitioner, health coach, and life coach, and I am going to be the main facilitator in each week's session. And my co-facilitators would include Irina Veronin and Kim Becker, who you have met earlier in the info slides. So the deadline to register for this program is no later than Friday, May 19th, 2023. Reason for that is because this program is limited in capacity. We want to keep it at under 6 or maximum of 6 participants because we've noticed that when we create a small group, everyone gets an opportunity to speak. We didn't want this program to be one of those group programs where you just sit in and listen, but in this small program, you actually get to speak. You get to have dialogue, open dialogue with the participants, with myself, the facilitators, and share knowledge and share experiences with each other. So hence the reason why the sooner you apply, the sooner you secure your spot for this small group. The program will start Tuesday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be recurring every Tuesday from then on until Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. And that would be the conclusion of that 12-week that we will be together. The way that this program we delivered will be through virtual meetings through Zoom. So Zoom is going to be the main program that we're going to be meeting on. The weekly investment is $62.50 Canadian, tax included per week, or a totaling amount of $750 Canadian. We do offer an installment of 2 installments, so feel free to kind of chat with us more about that and how we can support. So there isn't a refund policy because the reason for that is because it acts as accountability for everyone. A lot of times when a client of mine comes and be like, oh, I don't know if this is for me, I'm not sure I want to continue, that's actually when change is about to happen. When you feel discomfort, when you feel like something is feels different, that's when change is about to happen. So to give you a little more confidence, so far in the 2 programs, we've only had everyone felt comfortable staying to it. I didn't have anyone telling me they want to drop out. We did have one in particular, I do want to be transparent, that did not complete the program. I'm not sure entirely what happened. It kind of just happened, and I've tried contacting and wasn't able to reach out. However, things happen. I can't say what, but I just want to be transparent with you that things like that do happen, but the majority of them, the 98% of people, did not, and was very happy to continue with the program and felt confident to do so. So in this program, what is included each week? So each week we include one weekly live session every Tuesday evening. It's approximately 75 minutes long, and one body doubling session and a body office hour. So body doubling includes 2 hours of co-working space. I'll go into more details about that shortly. So we want to create enough support beyond just that 1 hour so that you do get the opportunity to learn in your learning style and take the time to absorb the information and apply it. All right, so continuation. So payment methods, invoices, and receipts. So payment can be provided through electronic transfer, or if you do by credit card, then there'll be a 3% service fee. And this will be done through a secure link on my website. And upon receiving, you'll receive your receipt and your invoices. And in case that your service provider or benefit provider does allow it to be claimed, we will send you that information for sure. So on to a little bit about insurance coverage. So for individuals that have benefits, we saw an array of different benefits from different clients and noticed that some were covered and some weren't. But if you were to check your benefits, these are some things that you can check for. Is I'm a certified nutritional practitioner, holistic nutritionist, registered holistic nutritionist. Those are all titles that can be claimed. We've also noticed that clients that have a health spending or a wellness account can claim anything and everything that's related to their well-being, including this service. So check in and see if that's a possibility for you. And it could be a claimable service. In terms of accessibility, please let us know if you have what your needs are, and we will try our very best to accommodate. We are a small team, we are pretty new, but we want to try our best to make this work for you. Same with the financial accommodations. Let us know your situation. Let's talk about this privately, and let's see how we can make this work to make it possible for you. Cool. And last point, like for those that financial constraints may be an issue right now, we are working to have this program potentially subsidized in the future. It's happening. We are part of something right now, but it is, again, slow moving. Things are changing, but we're hoping in the near future that that could be a possibility. All right, so let's dive into the 6 perks of the program. So 1, you're working with providers that are genuinely interested in your success and your well-being. So myself included, my team included, we're all here for to help you, right? I know this is a fee for service program, right? That's why there's a fair exchange. We provide the fee, we provide the service, and we want to make sure that you feel supported and you're getting the value that you intended when you joined. So that's number 1. Number 2, a program specifically designed with and for individuals with lived experiences. So I think this is quite the key point, because we've noticed a lot of services that are for the general public aren't exactly sometimes inclusive of individuals that are neurodivergent. So we've asked our neurodivergent lived experience individuals and participants to give their input in how to make this program more suited for their needs and how it can be comfortable for them and effective. So we took those feedback and put it together to make this even better. So 3, you get to receive extra support and accountability by attending those bonus virtual sessions. So attending body doubling and some of those office hours with people that you've met in the weekly sessions can be extremely helpful in creating a space and helping support each other's accountability. So a lot of change is going to happen outside of our sessions. So in our 1 hour and then in our body doubling, could be a way to take what you learned in the 1 hour session and apply it during body doubling in a structured time. So you don't have to make extra time outside of your busy schedule to work on the tasks. So see it as almost like a structured program with a flow to it. 4, this is again an ND affirmative program. Materials have been developed to help you achieve success. Like I mentioned, we've taken feedback to help optimize this program as much as we can. 5, this program has been proven effective in helping ND individuals achieve success, and it's evidence-based. So again, this is our 3rd time running this. We have seen tremendous success from our past clients and our past participants in the program, and everything that's being taught has been backed by science. So it shows that we're combining what's, the knowledge and the action, that we can create the outcome together. And it's also possible for you because others like yourself have achieved it in the past 2 programs. 6, the best part, I think, is meet other adults who are also ND and learn from each other while navigating life. So we've noticed that the group dynamic has been awesome, right? Like you get to share different knowledge with each other. We've had clients say like, oh, I do it this way. And then another client be like, oh my goodness, I never thought about it that way. That could be helpful for me. So the open dialogue that we get to have in group can really help push each other to find what works and what doesn't. So these are the 6 perks of the program. Awesome. So who is this NDSB program for? So the program is for you if you are currently living the following. Again, might not relate to all the points, but these are some potential points to help you decide if this is right for you. So 1, you're living in an endless loop of old habits that are no longer serving you, that leave you feeling deprived and feelings of unwell. So you notice things aren't working anymore, but you're unsure what to do next. This could be it. This program could be the next big step. 2, you're feeling low energy, unmotivated, and having a hard time to focus because you're lacking the guidance to apply those learned skills for ND individuals. So again, this goes back to the idea that you may know what you need to do, but you're unsure how to make it work. Sometimes it's about finding the right steps in the right order. And in this program, that's what we're here to do, is helping find those right steps in the right order so that you can feel motivated and confident to doing it. Four, or third, having a hard time differentiating between important and urgent tasks, which actually sometimes lead to inaction or too much action, and then we lead to burnout. So in this program, we help figure out what you want to live, what do you want to do first, what needs to be done first, and how we can add those together so that you reduces the resistance of not wanting to do something and wanting to do everything at once. And four, lacking the knowledge and the tools to know what, how, and when to eat in order to build a positive relationship with food, specifically for ND individuals. So again, I am a holistic nutritionist. Food will be talked about. We've had members that join where they're like, I thought this was a skill building program. Why are we talking so much about food? Well, food is a type of skill. Learning how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, those are all skills that can be learned. And the best part yet, when you know those tools, when you have those tools and resources, you actually help improve your life, right? What we eat, how we eat, when we eat can improve your cognitive function. It can take away your energy, can give you energy. So figuring out what works for you specifically is the key to improving quality of life and developing skills around it. All right. So again, the program is for you if you desire the following described. So one, getting things done for more consistently and having the energy and focus to do so. So again, consistency doesn't mean every single day. It could just mean doing it more often than you don't. So learning how to find that balance is really important. Two, feeling confident, know exactly what your body and your mind is needing and how to provide it so that positive change can naturally happen. Going back to that idea that I talked about in the beginning, we want to focus on creating things more naturally. Meaning that we want to prevent that resistance or figuring out where that resistance is coming from so that you could do things more on your own versus being forced to do it. Because when you get forced to do it, it's no fun. Three, resting well through sleep and active rest to support cognitive function. So sleeping and resting, those sounds essential, right? They sound like essential essential ways of living, but those are also skills that can be taught and can be learned. So sleeping well and resting well, those are all ways that we can build skills around it so that we can optimize our cognition and support our well-being. Four, eating the right foods for your specific bodies and needs. Talked a little bit about that earlier. So find what works for you. I know this is a group program, but there is still ways that we help individualize it in our small group environment so that you do kind of get that, be like, okay, this works for me. Might not work for someone else, but it works for me. And lastly, having all the tools and resources get you back on track when you fall off, because falling off is inevitable. When we plan for when we fall off track, that's how we get back on faster. A lot of programs don't include this last point, so it could make it difficult for you to know what to do when you fall off. You're just like, oh, I just got taught what we need to do, but I don't know how to get back on. So this is one of those essential things that we help create, is a toolbox to get you back on track. All right. So in the live session, we will be doing a coaching demo so you can experience how someone like yourself go through a certain activity that we do in the coaching program so you can get an idea of what happens. They're going to be focusing on the Eisenhower matrix. I have clients say to me, Sarah, I've heard of that before. I've tried it. It doesn't really work. What's going on? Or it's not something new. So the cool part is this program is not to provide you with the newest knowledge. I'm here to provide you with the fundamentals. You might have heard them before, but what differentiates us in this program and other programs is that we provide tools for you to start applying it. We combine the knowledge with the action together so that they can be hand in hand. They go together. So that's what's different, is that we focus on putting it into action. So even though you may have tried the Eisenhower matrix before, I have clients that have tried it and didn't find success previously, but once you start working on it together, they're like, ooh, I can see the point of this now. I can see how it can be helpful for me. All right. Yeah. So on that note, if you want to see the client demo, join us live on May 4th and 11th to see the demo. Okay. So what happens in the 75-minute live sessions that happens every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern is that we start with block one. So block one is going to be a 15-minute intro about celebrating small wins. We go into block 2, which is the main information, block 3, which is a dedicated work time, and then we wrap it up in block 4 and check out. So notice that the main information and the dedicated work time, which is where we focus on experiential learning, is just as important as each other. So they've got equal time together, because I want to provide that space and time for us to kind of take what we learn and directly apply it. A lot of times, a lot of programs lack the application, and you're just kind of like, oh, I learned more information. This is fantastic, but what do I do with it? So in the session, we get to focus on what to do with it almost immediately. And then what happens in our 2-hour body doubling session? So for those that haven't heard of what body doubling is in the past, well, body doubling is a method of co-working together. It can be in person or virtually, where has been proven effective for individuals that are ND. So essentially, it's like another body physically or virtually that's not exactly doing the same task as you, but we're co-working in a space that we exist and you can do your own task. So it's almost like a study hour if you think back to school where we sit together and do work. The same thing happens, we can do the same thing when we're adults, and it's proven to be very effective. During these times, you can do absolutely anything and everything, but the idea is that you get that accountability, you get that connection and support at the same time. So block 1, 10 minutes, we settle in, we share with the group the tasks that you'll be doing. So we've actually noticed a lot of individuals coming onto this call doing laundry, washing dishes, things that they don't typically want to do. But in this hour, it's like there's dedicated time and other people are doing it too. So it's kind of motivating for them to do it, keeping them accountable to get it done. And then lastly, block 3, 10 minutes, we do a quick check-in with their task and then do a quick checkout to end the session. So this is more of a quiet 2-hour versus the live one where we talk. This one is where we get focus on the task at hand. So some individuals also would bring in what we talked about in the 1-hour session and apply it here in this body doubling. Cool. So I want to take a moment here and talk a little bit about a positive mindset shift versus toxic positivity. So I know a lot that in this program so far, we've been talking about all the incredible things and all the positives and whatnot, but I want to make a clear differentiation between positive mindset shift and toxic positivity. So in this program, we focus on the positive mindset shift, meaning, for example, we're becoming more aware of some negative thoughts and things happening around and within us without judgment, versus toxic positivity, that the belief that no matter how difficult or dire a situation is, you should stay positive. You should be okay. It's, could be worse mentality. No, we don't want to focus on that. We're here to build a more positive mindset towards situations where it can help you understand what's happening. So for instance, a positive mindset shift would be challenging negative thoughts to identify if they're real or not and creating a counter action to it. So we're tying what's happening with an action. So a lot of times our minds are so prone to negative thinking that sometimes we make things up. And the idea here is that we want to differentiate and break it down. Be like, oh, is that thought process true to myself? Or is it just something that my anxiety is coming up to tell me so? Versus toxic positivity would include when you feel shame and guilt, you're just being dismissive of the emotions. For example, you had a tough day, suck it up. At least you're alive. You just stay positive after it's devastating loss. We're not here to focus on that. We want to help you acknowledge that these emotions are all part of life, and we just want to have a shift in our mindset where we can accept them and find an action to help get us out of there. So for instance, we would use affirmations, celebrating small wins, allowing space and time to process some of those emotions. So this is something that continuously happens in the 12 weeks that we are together. So it's not just going to be a one session topic. You'll see it rolling through every single week. All right, so let's focus a little bit on the Stereotypity coaching framework. So there are some programs that work really well and some that don't. So programs that get you the best results in the shortest period of time have to have 3 things, which is in this program, is 1, the right support, 2, the right system, 2, the right support, and 3, the right accountability. So when we think about the right system, it's talking about taking the right steps in the right order. A lot of times, I know you know what to do, but sometimes it's not about the knowing, it's about which ones goes first. So for instance, maybe you have all the knowledge, but you start step 5 instead of step 1, then there's a disconnect with the order and you might not get the results that you were looking for. So 2, the right support, someone to encourage you when you're feeling stuck. So that's when the group support comes in. That's where me as your coach comes in to help keep you grounded in this program as we go along it together. And lastly, the right accountability is someone to keep you on track or accountable when you're falling off track. So the body doubling, the in-person session, those are all ways to kind of keep you accountable. But I've also had clients in the past 2 programs saying that, change is happening outside the hour, but then when they get stuck, they think about what we talked about in group, and be like, oh, I remember Sarah said that. Oh, another member said that. Great. This was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen, and this is how we get back on track. So that's how the power of these 3 work together. I like to call this the 3-leg stool approach, because if you take any of these out, the stool will either wobble or fall completely, hence the failing of the program. So the idea is that we're trying to create this cohesive triangle or stool for you where you can find your balance and know how to go through this program in a successful way, and also beyond this program that you can take away with you. Awesome. So in this program, we focus on 6 different pillars. So 1, we focus on goal setting the smart way, meaning that we want to set realistic and measurable and attainable goals for our next 90 days. And we're going to talk a lot about that in the first session. 2, the idea of this program is to create the foundation for success, meaning that we want to create some fundamental skills. So for instance, if you're to build a house without building the foundation first, it will collapse. So a lot of times I've noticed different programs and different clients skip the step and go to the next step first, and then they kind of fall back and don't know where to get back on track. So once you build the foundation, even if you fall off track, at least you have the foundation to go back to. 3, eating food for energy, productivity, and pleasure. So a lot of times, I'm a nutritionist again, so food is going to be a big topic because food can generate those energy, can generate those productivity, creativity, that mindset, that motivation. So when we eat a food that we know that works for our body, we get the effects from it. We get nourished from that. But if we eat certain foods that can also take away that energy, reduce our productivity, and take us further away from our goals. So talking about that, breaking food down in that sense. 4, rest well, eat well, and live well. So putting it all together, the lifestyle factors, how to rest properly so that we don't burn out, which happens a lot of times when neurodivergent individuals spend so much time masking because they can't be themselves. So we're trying to break that barrier. 5, benefits of moving your body for individuals. So understanding movement, what is movement? What can I do? Why is it important? How do I incorporate it? Those are all things we get to talk about in this program. And lastly, wrapping it all up, is turning healthy habits into behaviors that are long-term. So this program is meant for sustainability. We're not looking for the shortcut, but as you go through this program, you're going to experience changes that you're like, oh, this is awesome. But at the same time, it doesn't end after we end. It will continue on. You can share that knowledge, you can share those actions with your loved ones, with others around you, and you get to take it away with you. So this program is meant to create sustainable long-term habits. All right. So now that I've talked all about the program, I do want to share some of the successes and pathways of what people got done in NDSB1 and NDSB2. So they joined the program, they understood the habits and skills, they learned how to prioritize, they took action, and these are what was possible for them and for you. So in the first iteration, we got people applying for disability tax credit. That, if you know what it is, that beast it's a beast. So some people find a hard time getting started and completing it. So a lot of people brought that in body doubling to get it done. We had individuals setting goals that wanted to cook more at home for themselves, and they were able to achieve that way before the program ended. We had individuals that were able to independently get back on track when they fell off. They learned how to take care of themselves, creating new routines, graduated from school. So go ahead if you want to pause this video and kind of read what some of these things are and see how it can relate to you. And then iteration 2, same things, lots of cool things. Some of them I'm going to share here is that one of the clients were here to better themselves for their kids who were also ND so that they can better support their quality of life in the future. So that's how it's really interesting, is that if you improve yourself, it improves everyone around you, because you get to take these skills and this improved quality of life with you, and everyone else around you improves. Another one I like to mention is an individual was creating a brand new website for their own business, and they left that for a while, but they actually got that done way before the program ended in like week 8 or earlier. So again, go ahead, pause this video, maybe take a look at some of the things that were completed and see how it relates. And then lastly, I do want to share some quick successes from NDSB1 and NDSB2. I'll read a couple, but go ahead and pause and kind of read this on your own as well. So one, Sarah, you'd be so proud of me today. Yesterday, I had things I needed to get done, and I wrote out the master checklist and then sorted them into 4 quadrants and realized so many things I added could be deleted for today and scheduled. And it literally felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders, and I got things done. So one of the participants were talking to me about the Eisenhower matrix. This is one of the key components of learning how to prioritize things. And it's incredible because it's something they've done in the past, but it wasn't effective for them. But in this iteration that we tried it, we took our time, we practiced it, we sorted it out and made sense. So that could be possible for you as well in this program. All right. So a couple more. This is the only group we have a part of that provides real practical solutions. So this individual's mentioned they're very connected in the ND world, and they've joined different groups and support systems, but they haven't found one that is like this program where it gives you real practical solutions. So I thought it was really, really music to my ears to hear that this program has created some uniqueness and most importantly, help them get into action mode and feel better. I'm going to share this one as well. So one thing I like about the program, there's a lot of hypersensitivity to context. You talk a lot about the how and where. You are in the process. For instance, your environment, building your hyper awareness. It's something that is very nuanced in your programming. Adult culture focuses on just doing the thing, but in this program, we focus on the why when we aren't doing it. It's something I value a lot. The fact that you focus on the why and knowing that sometimes there are lots of obstacles that's stopping us versus not because we just don't want to do it. So that was so crucial and such a pivot point in that individual's mindset, is that, misunderstanding, right? I feel like a lot of individuals are misunderstood. It's not because you don't want to do it. It's you want to do it, right? But it's just there's roadblocks in your way that we haven't cleared out to help get you there. So in this program, we help break down some of those barriers, those obstacles, so that you can get to that finish line more effectively. Again, pause this video, read some of these if you can resonate with them. This particular slide is on the magic plate, which is a type of method that we're going to learn how to eat. And yeah, so lots of cool things that happened. And then lastly, a few more on body doubling. I got a lot done. It was good. I even took a break during it. So just to show, this body doubling time is not fully crunch time. It could be also taking a break, finding that balance once again. All right. Lastly, thank you so much for joining and listening in on this info session. We will be running it live in May, so stay tuned. But the action step that you can start taking now is email us at ndsb.program@gmail.com to get the most up-to-date information about this program and how to sign up and stay connected. I've also left my website here at www.sarahtivy.ca/ndsb for you to check out some of the overview that we talked about in this info session today. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and my team and I are really excited to get you started. Thank you.